All right, class.
Yes.
Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we already been sitting here for like an hour. So, yeah, it kind of, I'll accept the weakness there. Now, we're going to go over this, and this is going to be, the free response. We're finding the exact value of cosine negative pi over 12. Now, a lot of people don't like radian. So what should we do if we don't like radian? Convert it to degrees. So I'm going to take my negative, wrong one, negative pi over 12, and I'm going to multiply that by, 180 over pi. So when I multiply that out, it's going to give me negative what? Yeah, negative 15. So that's negative 15 degrees. So it says sum and difference. So we're looking for the cosine of negative 15. And I want to use addition and subtraction with known values on my unit circle to get negative 15. So think about it like this. If I want a negative value, how do you get negative values in your bank account? Spend more money than you have, right? So I need to take away more than what I have. 30 minus 45. You sound so excited about this all the time. All right, so now my reference sheet says cosine of, I believe this is s minus t, right? S minus t. So it's going to turn into cosine of 30, cosine of 45, plus sine of 30, sine of 45. And we plug in stuff from my unit circle. So cosine 30 is going to give me 3 over 2, cosine 45, rad 2 over 2, plus sine of 30, which is 1/2, sine 45, rad 2 over 2. Now, when I multiply radicals, I multiply the radical insides together. So rad 3 times rad 2 is rad 6, right? Over 2 times 2, 4, plus sine, and 1 times rad 2, so that's rad 2 over 4. And so I'm going to combine it over one common denominator. So it's rad 6 plus rad 2 all over 4. Now there's an alternate, because you might have picked different numbers. And so you could have also had, for your answer, a positive rad 2 plus rad 6 all over 4. So if you did it a different way using different numbers than I did, and you came up with this answer, they're still the same thing. They're still equivalent, so they're still the correct answer. All right, question? We good? All right. Number dos. So this one is just like one that we were doing on the multiple choice. We have two angles. We have an A and a B. So I'm going to have angle A, which is going to get an X, Y, and R. So sine. Sine represents my Y over R, right? Is everyone okay still? Following along? A lot of people zoning out here. So my Y value is 3, my R value is 5, and I still got to find the X. For my B's, it is X, Y, and R. X, Y's, and R's. So now sine here represents Y over R again. So what is my y value in this case? Negative 12, right? So negative 12 over 13. And so I got to find my x's on both of them. So I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem again. So x squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. X squared plus 9, 25. X equals plus or minus the square root of 16. And it says A is in quadrant 1. What do we know about the x value in quadrant 1? Quadrant 1 is positive. So the x is going to be positive what? Positive 4. Very good. Now let's do the same thing over here. So I'm going to have x squared plus negative 12 squared equals 13 squared. That's a square right there. X squared plus 144 equals 169. X equals plus or minus the square root of 25. And it says B is in quadrant 3. What do we know about the x value in quadrant 3? X value in quadrant 3 is negative. So it's going to be a negative 5. See what I did there? Negative 5. Now I'm going to the actual question this time. It says find cosine of A plus B. So from my formula. So cosine of A plus B is equal to the cosine of A cosine of B minus sine of A sine of B. And this is where I plug it in the x, y's, and r's from what I have. Alright, cosine of A. So cosine is x over r, so that's 4 over 5. Cosine B is going to be, what's that, negative what? 5 over 13, very good. Sine of A is 3 over 5, right? And cosine of B, there you go. Go ahead, we got everything out there now. So on top, 4 times negative 5, negative 20 over 65. Bring down my minus. Now 3 times negative 12 is negative 36 over 65. But now I have a minus, a negative. What do I do to fix that? Change them all to pluses, right? Those are pluses. So it's negative 20 and 36 is going to give me a positive 16 over 65. Because it's minus a negative. So it's a negative and a negative together is going to give you positive. There you go. ¿Está muy bien? Sí, sí. Numero trace. All right, we're going to write this one out. We're going to translate this one into algebra. Algebra. So, cosecant. What does cosecant represent? 1 over y, very good, times secant, which is 1 over x, very good. All that's being divided by cotangent, which is x over y. Now, what's my problem I have here? Fraction over fraction. But I'm going to multiply the top together to clean it up a little bit. So it's going to turn into 1 over x, y, times the reciprocal of the bottom. So I'm going to flip over the bottom. And so it's going to turn into y over x, right? Yes, y over x. Okay, so from here, what's that magic thing that happens? Y's cancel. After the y's cancel, what's left on top? And what's the bottom? So I will accept the answers, two different answers for this. What does this turn into as trig? Secant squared. So one answer would be secant squared theta, and the other answer I will also accept will be 1 over cosine squared theta. I'll accept either. They mean the same thing, it's just written slightly different. And time for number 3? Number 4. Number 4. Okay. Simplify the expression. All right, so we're going to do this one. So it says 1 divided by tangent squared. So to translate that to algebra, it's 1 divided by, what's tangent turn into? So y over x. So it's y squared over x squared. Plus sign. Cotangent. X over y. And tangent is y over x. Now, first thing you're going to look at and say, oh, hey, what's going to happen over here on the right-hand side? Everything's canceling, right? The y's cancel, x's canceled, and if everything cancels, what do I get? You get 1, so that turns in just 1. But over here on the left, fraction over fraction, right? Fraction over fraction, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, so it's going to be 1 times the reciprocal, which is x squared over y squared, right? And let's bring down that 1, that's there. Okay, so that should be easy right there. So I get x squared over y squared plus 1. Let's translate that back to trig. Turn that back into trig. What is that going to be? X squared over y squared is? Okay, so it's cotangent plus 1. Now, each one of these questions is worth 5 points. Each one of these 4 questions is worth 5 points. If you stop right there, that will give you only 4 points. That's what? Cotangent squared plus 1 is cosecant squared. It's on your reference sheet. It's on your reference sheet. It's on your identity. So 1 plus cotangent squared is equal to cosecant squared. And that's how you get the 5th point on this. All right, there we go. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button.